Randy, you're so right, but I mean, so little information has been released. We don't even have a sense of some of the leads they have gotten. They're looking, of course, for the occupants of this, make and model of this white Hyundai Elantra that they believe was in the vicinity of the scene. But that's about it. And so no murder weapon has been recovered, which I find, quite suspect. Speaking of suspects, we're not privy to if they have, a list or one person they're honing in on. But in your view, having followed all of these investigations in your career, does it seem like they're withholding too much? Or maybe they just don't know. I don't know.
I don't know that you can ever withhold too much, because if you want to apprehend the right person, not just any person, because let's face it, about the only thing worse than not catching anyone is catching the wrong person.
Let's hear that again for the lynch mob in the cheap seats.
If you want to apprehend the right person, not just any person, because let's face it, about the only thing worse than not catching anyone is catching the wrong person. Because if you catch the wrong person, it's going to make it all that more difficult once you believe you have the right person to convince 12 people that, listen, we did everything right, but no, you got to believe me this time.
They will not be able to prosecute anyone else after this mess of an investigation. I just don't know if this is because of corruption or incompetence or both. It's one thing to keep information from the public. It's another thing to put out lies and contradictions without any corrections. The only way the state has a chance at winning is if the jury pool is tainted. It almost seems like the gag order was done for this exact reason. Misinformation has taken the place of evidence.
Our next question comes from Rob RC. It's actually at Rob4824914 on Twitter. And he asks, do you think a high-profile pro bono attorney will ride into town? Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, Rob, I think that we might definitely see somebody swoop in here. Right here is actually now international case. They're following it everywhere. It is a great opportunity for somebody who wants to make their bones in the law profession. So if you take the case on for free, right, pro bono, it might provide that opportunity if just in case they do win the case. And I always point to cases like Casey Anthony, where the lawyer steps in who is relatively unknown and all of a sudden becomes famous when he won. So, yes, I definitely think that we might see somebody swoop in here at the last second.
So far, Ann Taylor is doing a great job, as far as I can tell, but this is a good point. Why didn't any lawyers step up pro bono to represent Bryan Coworker? This is a very high-profile case that would be a career-defining opportunity. I just find it unusual. What do you guys think?
And new details about the man accused of the murders.
Hi, my name is Bryan. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
It's crazy to find out I interacted with this person. I touched this person's hair. I made this person look and feel good about themselves.
This was hard to find because MSM only pushes the negative comments about Bryan that were from people he was friends with over a decade ago. Old friends' opinions are not really relevant, but yet they are widespread and well-known.
Right. If you look on Google, there's particular searches that you can do to see what queries are made. So if you go into Bryan Coworker suspect or Bryan Coworker wanted for a period of years going even beyond 2018, before 2018, and well before these murders, well before he was arrested, it's amazing. You see all these queries for those. Well, who would conduct those queries? But I would contend that person querying themselves, wanting to know if they're wanted, wanting to know if they are a suspect, or somebody that was thinking they could be a suspect or wanted.
Hey, thank you for...
What I'm about to show you gives me so much satisfaction, because I am about to show you how clueless that woman is and how mainstream media loves to twist things around. First of all, she does not understand how Google Trends actually works.
But let me tell you about this this former coworker of Bryan Coworker's. Woof. It turns out between 2016 and 2021, he was this security guard for the school district. The school district actually had to turn over records because they were subpoenaed. And it's weird here. This will matter to his lawyers. This is really going to matter to his lawyers if he is tried and convicted and there's a death penalty phase. In 2018, he was credited with helping save a life of a coworker. And that could be a mitigating factor in a death penalty phase. So keep that in the back of your mind, because you can just pull that out later.
In 2018, Bryan's name was mentioned in multiple news articles because he helped save a coworker's life. This is why there is an uptake in interest for his name. Google Trends does not show the volume of searches. It shows changes in interest in a particular search term over time. This also includes any time a term is indexed on a website page. So the news articles about Bryan helping to save his coworker contributed to the increase on the chart previously showed. This next part really irritates me, and it will irritate you too. It's really messed up. Just watch.
But my next guests actually heard from this former coworker who sort of spilled the beans on a lot of stuff about Bryan Kohberger, and you know them well because they're the administrators of a very popular webpage. Joining me now, Christine Cameron and Alina Smith, admins of the University of Idaho Murders Case Discussion Group on Facebook. It's one of the biggest true crime pages on Facebook right now, with 225,000 members and counting. Ladies, it's great to have you back on. Thank you so much for being here.
Do these two women look familiar to you? Well, it's because this is not the first time they have done interviews with the media regarding the Bryan Kohberger case. Their Facebook group is also the one where Papa Rogers was posting. These two women are also the ones who released the What Did You Say to Adam video, as well as the Corner Club footage. Do you see a pattern? And I guarantee they are also the sources of many other bits of misinformation that we have heard from the media.
Let me start with you, Christine,
Thanks
with
for having
what
us
this
today.
coworker, well, I'm delighted. I love talking to you. What this former coworker laid out in detail about her time with Bryan Kohberger.
Sure. A member reached out to me privately through our Facebook group. This person said they worked with Kohberger at Pleasant Valley School District pre-COVID. We know it's legitimate because they sent a selfie with him and documents from the district showing employment. He lied about an incident and got caught on cameras, which made him really mad. He swore he did not hit another person in the parking lot and went as far as to rub the dirt on the ground on this person's car in the parking lot to say that he didn't do this as a cover-up. He was not apologetic to this person, and he just got really angry when other people believed the camera footage that they had in front of them. And that just goes to show his outburst and his temper. He was obsessed about his weight.
Obsessed about his weight. We'd heard that before. And he talked a lot about personality traits and disorders as well.
He did. His hobby was studying serial killers and what caused them to commit these murders. And this person said to us that, if someone was in the room getting any attention or was showing him up, he would go nuts. And this person gave a tip to the police. They said, just tell him that he is not the smartest person in the room, and he'll tell you how he did it.
This is such nonsense. First of all, she looks like she's reading from a script. Just watch her eye movement. Second of all, that was not his hobby, idiot. That was what he was studying at school for his degree. Do you guys see how things get twisted around to make him look like a monster? This is so unsettling. Really ticks me off.
That's fascinating. I'm particularly fascinated with that little nugget that this employee said that Bryan Kohberger's hobby was studying serial killers and what caused them to commit murder. That is chilling.
It is.
Okay, Alina, we had a poll out on your page.
Okay, I have never heard someone say so many wrong things, one after the other, consecutively in a row.